Frog can live on water as well as on land, and they are called amphibians, and they belong to class Amphibia of phylum Chordata. The common Indian frog is Rana tigrina. It is a common Indian frog actually. They don't have constant body temperature, that is, their body temperature varies with the temperature of the environment. Such animals are called cold blooded. So they are called cold blooded and poikilotherms. Poikilotherms. Okay, frogs have the ability to change the color to hide from the enemies. That is, they can do camouflage. This protective coloration is called mimicry. During peak summer and winter, they take shelter in deep burrows to protect them from extreme heat and cold. This is known as summer sleep. Summer sleep is known as estivation. And winter sleep is hibernation. Now we have morphology. The color of dorsal side of the body is generally olive green with dark irregular spot. Olive green and dark irregular spot. Right, dorsal side. And on the ventral side, the skin is uniformly pale yellow. The frog never drinks water but absorbs it through the skin. They never drinks water. Absorb through skin only. Okay. Body of a frog is divisible into head and trunk, and neck and tail are absent above the mouth. A pair of nostrils present. Eyes are bulged and covered by a nictitating membrane that protects them while in water. So they have nictitating membrane which protects them in inside water. Okay. The forelimbs and hind limbs help. They do not have neck and tail. Only head and trunk. Alright. The forelimbs and hind limbs help in swimming, walking, leaping, and burrowing. The hind limbs end in 5 digits and they are larger and muscular than forelimbs. Hind limbs are larger than forelimbs. Hind limbs are in 5 digits and forelimbs are 4. Feet have webbed digits that help in webbed. Help in swimming. Okay. Frogs show sexual dimorphism. Sexual dimorphism. That is, as male frog possesses developed vocal sacs and also have copulatory pad, male frogs have vocal sacs plus copulatory pad on first digit of forelimb that are absent in female frogs. Obviously, body of the male frogs is somewhat slender and darker in color than female frogs. Male have more slender and darker body than females. Okay. Then we have anatomy of digestive system. Consists of alimentary canal and digestive glands. Alimentary canal is short as frogs are carnivores. Carnivores, so short alimentary canal and length of intestine is reduced. Length is reduced of intestine. Mouth opens into buccal cavity that leads to esophagus through pharynx. Mouth opens into buccal cavity that leads to esophagus. Buccal cavity, then pharynx, then esophagus. Stomach is situated behind the esophagus and divisible into cardiac and pyloric. Pyloric. Stomach is into cardiac and pyloric. Stomach. The small intestine divisible into an anterior and posterior ileum. Digestion of food in the different occurs in the small intestine. Small intestine is also into two, like anterior duodenum and posterior ileum. Alright, and ileum leads to rectum or large intestine. The rectum opens into cloaca. Ileum leads to rectum or large intestine. Okay, and the rectum opens into cloaca. Digestive glands of frog include liver, pancreas, gastric, intestinal. Okay, digestive glands are liver, pancreas, gastric glands, intestinal glands. Liver secretes bile that is stored in the gallbladder. Pancreas, a digestive gland, produces pancreatic juice. Food is captured by bilobed tongue. Okay, and digestion of food takes place by the action of HCl and gastric juices secreted from the walls of the stomach. Partially digested food called chyme is passed from stomach to the first part of the intestine, the duodenum. The duodenum receives bile from gallbladder and pancreatic juices from pancreas to a common bile duct. The bile emulsifies fat and pancreatic juices digest carbohydrates and proteins. Final digestion takes place in the intestine. Digested food is absorbed by the numerous finger-like folds in the inner wall of intestine called villi. So villi and microvilli. Absorb food. The undigested solid waste moves into the rectum and passes it out through cloaca. Moves into the rectum and passes out through cloaca. Final नैना ठग लेंगे नैना ठग लेंगे. Then we have respiratory system. Okay. Adult frog respires by three different types. First is cutaneous, buccopharyngeal, and pulmonary. Pulmonary. It occurs to highly vascular skin of frog. Okay. In water, skin act as an aquatic respiratory organ. On land, it is the only method of respiration during estivation and hibernation. Buccopharyngeal occurs on land during partial immersion in water. Occurs on land during partial immersion in water. And pulmonary is less frequent than other two modes of respiration and takes place through lungs. Okay, then we have circulatory system. Is well developed and closed type. It consists of heart, blood vessels, and blood. Frogs also have a lymphatic system. Lymph differs from blood as it lacks few proteins and RBCs. Okay. Heart is a muscular structure. It is situated in the upper part of body cavity. Heart situated in it has three chambers, two atria, and one ventricle. It is covered by pericardium. Sinus venosus joins the right atrium that receives blood through the major veins called vena cava. Wait. Sinus venosus joins the right atrium that receives blood through the major veins. The ventricle opens into a sac like conus arteriosus on the ventral side of the heart. What the fuck is this? Joins the right atrium that receives blood. Three chambers, two atria, and one ventricle. Veins. Wait, yaar. We need to, yeah. नैना ठग लेंगे. collect blood from different parts of body. Body by arteries. Body to different parts of the body to the heart. And from the venous system. जगते आंसू फूके. In frogs, special venous connection between liver and intestine. Interconnection between liver and intestine called hepatic portal system. And between kidney and lower part of the body called renal portal system. Between kidneys and lower parts of body called renal portal system is present. Renal portal system. Alright. Circulation of blood is achieved by pumping action of the heart. Blood is composed of plasma and cell. Blood contains RBs, erythrocytes. Then we have excretory system. जगते आंसू फूकेंगे जगते जगते न ढक लेंगे. It consists of kidneys, ureter, cloaca, urinary bladder. Kidneys, ureters, cloaca, urinary bladders. Kidneys, ureters, cloaca, and urinary bladder. Alright. Each kidney consists of several structural functions called uriniferous tubules or nephrons. Urinary present ventral to the rectum. Ventral to rectum. Okay, and the frog excretes urea and thus is a ureotelic animal. Frog excretes urea. It is called ureotelic animal. Then we have here nervous system. Nervous system comprises of CNS, PNS and ANS. CNS, PNS, ANS. CNS is brain and spinal cord. PNS is cranial and spinal nerves. ANS is sympathetic and parasympathetic. Then there are 10 pairs of cranial nerves arising from the brain. Brain is enclosed in a bony structure called the brain box. Have 10 pairs of cranial nerves. Arise from brain. forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. And then we have brain, which is divisible into forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. Forebrain is olfactory lobes, cerebral hemispheres, and diencephalon. Midbrain is optic lobes. Hindbrain is cerebellum and medulla oblongata. Spinal cord is located in the neural canal of the vertebral column and joins the medulla oblongata where foramen and magnum of the cranium. Frog has organs of touch, taste, smell, vision, and hearing. Tympano with the internal ears, taste buds, nasal epithelium. The coordination of various organs is achieved by hormones secreted by various endocrine glands. Now we have reproductive system of frog. They have male and female reproductive system. Male consists of testes, vasa, pharynxia, and urogenital tract. Testes are found adhered to the upper parts of kidneys by a double fold of peritoneum called mesorchium. Testes are adhered to the upper part of the kidneys by mesorchium. By mesorchium. Vasa pharynxia 10 to 12 in number that arise from testes. They enter the kidneys on this side and open into Bidder's canal. Vasa pharynxia 10 to 12 opens into Bidder's canal. Cloaca is a small median chamber that is used to pass fecal matter. Okay, urine, sperms to the exterior. Female includes ovaries, ovaries, oviduct, and cloaca. Fertilization is external and takes place in water. Development involves a larval stage called tadpole. It undergoes metamorphosis to form the adult. Frogs maintain ecological balance because these serve as an important link of food chain and food web. Ecological balance. They're not ugly.